What is going on, my wonderful people out there? It's your boy Dread Zero, and today I'm going to be talking about the characters that I want buffed and nerfed in Season 3 of Street Fighter 6. Let's get into it. Alright, so you got 5 categories. You got big buffed, quality of life, nerfed, and then big nerf. Quality of life is there is because I do believe that every character deserves some kind of change, even if I think that they don't need a buff or a nerf, just to keep things fresh. And so instead of saying stay the same, we're gonna do quality of life. And then as you got big buff, where are the characters that need to be mega buffed, that I think need to be mega buffed, and then the big nerf is the characters that need to be toned way down. Like I think they need to be like brought down more than just a peg. And then you got buffed, like they need to receive some buffs, then nerf, they need to receive some nerfs. So we're gonna get started. This again this is based on how I feel. This is not what I think Capcom is gonna do. I might mention what I think they might do throughout the video, but this is just who I want to be buffed and who I want to be nerfed and who I think needs a quality of life change. So we're gonna go with that. Actually, I'm gonna add one more category here: rework. Okay, so there is going to be a rework category, characters that I think just need to be changed completely, like reworked, so that they can be better off overall. Okay, let's get into it then. So I'm going to start off with the characters that I think need to be big buffed coming up in Season 3. So we are going to start off with Luke. Okay, so I think Luke needs to be in big buff because right now, me personally, I think Luke he's not like one of the worst characters per se to me, but I do think that he out of Ken, Akuma, Ryu, Terry, like all of the Shoto and Shoto adjacent type characters, Luke is definitely on the lower end, and it's kind of like why would you play him? So we all know that Luke was a terror in season one. Reevaluating that, maybe he wasn't as bad as say we let Ken slide by. You know what I'm saying? But what I would personally do is I would make it to where Luke could get some of his damage back. Right now, I feel like Luke is spending a lot of meter, and the damage reward is not as great as it could be, or like some of the other characters. So he's like constantly spending all these resources, and the reward is not that good. So I would definitely make it to where he could potentially have better reward for spending as much meter as he does. I would also like just kind of couple cool changes that I thought for Luke would be really cool. Is one like maybe level 2 could be like a combo extender, like it bounces like off the wall at the end of the level 2 cutscene or bounce off the ground, takes some of the damage away, and it kind of gives him a combo extension. I think that would be really cool. Or allow him to go into level 3 from DP to kind of cut out some of those knuckle issues that he's having with having to do perfect knuckle all the time, especially on PS5. We all know how people make pro players and players that compete been complaining about the PS5's overheating, and Luke on PS5 with the knuckles, like that's just a no-go. So maybe they can have it to where he can do level 3 from DP and access some of the damage that way without always having to go in perfect knuckle. So that's all I'm gonna say about Luke. I do think he needs to be big buffed this season. The season coming up. The next character, to no one's surprise, is going to be Marisa. Marisa is considered the worst, or if not close to the worst character in the game by many regions, by many players. Whether you be like an average player, you play Marisa. Honestly, y'all some troopers for playing Marisa. They nerfed her level 3 Oki. They nerfed some of her conversions, like, and she barely really had conversions to begin with, especially off like lights and stuff. And so, this is what I would want to do with Marisa. I think OD Gladius should be fully armored from head to toe. Low should not be OD Gladius. You are spending 2 bars of meter and you're still currently losing to lows. So for me, I think using OD Gladius should be rewarded better, and that if you're going to be spending 2 bars of meter, you should be fully armored. Not invincible, armored. So that's like one change that I would make for her. I think that would be super cool. Also, if they wanted to take away Gladius as an anti-air and make her crouch heavy punch a more consistent anti-air, or even make Superman punch a consistent air to air, I think that would be really great for her. That would up her game because she already does not have a DP. Yes, she has an armored move that you can do command grabs and stuff out of, but they lose to throws anyway. So for me, I feel like having her have OD Gladius, kind of like Honda OD Headbutt, as an option for waking up, and you could still grab her, so that's fair, but she doesn't lose to lows. Or if she gets jumped in on, her anti-airs actually work. She doesn't have to rely on Gladius, and she doesn't have to get pressured for free. Like, people are jumping in on Marisa for free because her anti-airs are kind of doo-doo. So I think if they buff her anti-air and then make OD Gladius fully armored, I think that would be a really great change for Marisa. So that's how I feel Marisa should be buffed in season 3 of Street Fighter 6. All right, so there's only gonna be one more character that I'm gonna put in big buffed. So Jamie, Jamie again, another character that's either considered the worst or among the worst characters in the game by many regions, by many players alike, casual, pro, competitive, all that. Right. What I think Jamie's biggest problem is that one, he's giving a Oki to take a drink, and then two, when he's drinking, the reward is really not even that great. The best moves that Jamie gets out of drinking is dive kick for drink one, I believe, and then command grab for drink three. Okay, those moves are really, really good. However, Jamie's dive kick is still not even one of the greater dive kicks. Jamie's having to take a drink for a dive kick that's worse than Cammy's naturally. And yes, that's Cammy's archetype, but Jamie's it could stand to be a little bit closer to what Cammy can do. Akuma. Let's not even talk about Akuma. Akuma is pretty much always safe, if not plus, on any part of the body that his dive kick hits. And Jamie has to take a drink for that. So if we're gonna do that, what Jamie needs, and what I've always felt like he needed, was that he needs to take some drinks into the next round. But hear me out. I'm not gonna go crazy. If he had 2 drinks in the previous round, he should start the next round 1 drink. 3 drinks, 1 drink next round. 4 drinks, start with 2. That way, he doesn't feel like he's just losing all the work. Because to me, what I see is that Jamie gets to level 4, if he does get to level 4, and by that time he already won the round, or he's lost usually, and he has to start all over again. So make it to where some drinks transfer over depending on the number of drinks. If you have 4, you can start the next round with 2, and then 3 and below you start the next round with 1. I think that's a good change. I also, something they could do is give Jamie an OD drink. So Jamie is giving an Oki. So maybe if they gave him an OD drink, he could still keep just a little bit of Oki, because the speed of the drink would be faster by using 2 bars. I think that's fair. Or one last change they could do is just have Jamie start off at normal damage. Jamie doesn't get normal damage until drink level 2, I believe. And so he's having to compete with these characters that already have a stupid amount of damage on him, and he has to drink for it. So either give him normal damage or make the drinks worth it. Honestly, I don't mind it. They can give Jamie all 3 of the changes I just mentioned. Oh, sorry, and make OD breakdance work. I think if you're spending 2 bars, if Elena's coming out and it looks like she has a reactable move to fireballs where she could punish somebody for throwing a fireball by going through them, and Jamie has to take a drink for it, just make OD work. If he has to spend 2 bars, at least make that one work, okay? So I personally think they could give Jamie all these changes. He will be top tier possibly. We don't even know. But it would be cool to see Jamie be top tier for once. I don't think that's a problem. I think some people are afraid of it, and they'd be like, Jamie's the best character when he's a level drink number 4. No, he gets a Rekka that's safe. I don't even think it's that great, to be honest with you. So these are the changes that would make. These are the 3 characters, Luke, Marisa, and Jamie, that I think need to be big buffed going into season 3. All right. So now let's go to just the buff characters, okay? Dhalsim. I'm gonna be 100. I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. I don't know what to do with this character. I just think that he kind of sucks, okay? I think the system mechanics of Street Fighter 6 completely destroyed Dhalsim. He gets mauled. Every time I see Dhalsim in a tournament or something, he's getting mauled. It has been a little bit better recently this season, but I still think he gets mauled. I don't necessarily know what to do to make Dhalsim better in this game. I'm gonna leave that for you guys in the comments. Please tell me if you play Dhalsim or you play against Dhalsim. You know some changes that they can make to make him a better character in season 3 and still be kind of fair. But yeah, Dhalsim definitely needs some help, man. I don't think he needs big buffs, because I think making a character like this big buff and super good can be dangerous for the health of the game. But he needs some love, man. He does need some love. So I'm gonna leave that to y'all, but I do think he needs to be buffed in some kind of way. All right, Honda. So I don't think Honda needs a big buff for like the same reason that Dhalsim doesn't need a big buff. I think characters like these that are super easy to, well, Dhalsim's not super easy to play, but Honda is super easy to play. And I think giving a character that super easy to play big buffs that will make them super strong is not healthy for the health of the game. And we'll talk about one character like that. That it's not healthy for the game. And so, what personally I would do, okay, I was talking to a friend about this. What I would do, headbutt, fine. I think headbutt's fine. But butt slam, okay? Butt slam is easily perfect parry, so is headbutt. But I think what would be really cool is if they made Honda's butt slam always go to the front or to the back or whatever. I would say the front, but he can change the speed at which he hits the ground. And what this would do is it would allow Honda players to choose the speed of which they hit the ground to vary their timing to throw off their opponent with perfect parry. And then that would require the opponent's perfect parrying to really pay attention to what butt slam Honda's doing to get the perfect parry. I think that would be a really cool dynamic to see in tournament to play on against online. It'll be better and more fun for both players for Honda to be able to control that. I think that would give him a little bit more agency, and that just wouldn't make him a perfect parry magnet, you know, especially for butt slam. So that's the kind of buzz that I think Honda would get. Oh, and please make his level 2 better and faster to go through fireballs. He has to charge level 2 to do that, and he still doesn't always go through the fireball like he needs to. Please change that, Capcom. I am not the biggest Honda fan, trust me. I really don't like Honda, but that he needs that buff. Fix his level 2 to make it go through fireballs. But think about, Capcom, if you're watching, you probably not, but think about making Honda players be able to change the speed at which they fall to the ground with butt slam, and that would create more agency, more fun, and more thoughtful tact on the defensive side. And then I'm gonna put Manon here. Manon is another character that I don't necessarily know what to do to buff her, but I do think she needs some love. She's still seen in tournament play. She's still seen online quite a bit and everything. I think Manon is really good in the neutral. I think her buttons are really good. I think her anti-airs are really good. But for some reason, she's still falling behind. So if you Manon players out there have any idea, you can also put that in the comments below. And let us know what you think, what kind of slight buffs that Manon would get in order to make her a better character, okay? All right, so let's move on to quality of life. The first character I'm going to put here is Chun Li. So Chun Li was the first character that I ever played in any Street Fighter. This is my first Street Fighter. This is the first character I ever played. I think Chun Li is super cool. I did get bored though. And so the quality of life change that I would make is I would make her stance a little bit more usable outside of combos, okay? I think stance is a really cool idea, being able to cancel it off everything, but it's a combo filler tool for the most part. Like, yeah, you have some options where you can use it in block string, but most of that's fake. Like, if you use light kick out of like medium punch, light punch, or whatever, or their case may be, people can interrupt it. It can be a frame trap if they're too slow, but you can't interrupt it. I would like to see it used for more like block strings, used for more neutral, and yeah, use it for more options in the neutral. Like, please make it to where it's not just combo filler. I think that would make her really, really cool to watch. And it wouldn't over buffer. Like, that's just like a little quality of life change, I believe. Okay. Awesome. The next character I'm gonna put here is Ed. The only quality of life change that Ed needs is to revert the nerf that he got to his backdash. They made it to where you can still DI it because his hurt box extended when he sways backwards. That was never a problem. That's what made Ed Ed. That was part of what made Ed Ed. That wasn't even the complete package. Ed was so cool to watch when he outsmarted or when he did a play and he was like, "Oh, got you!" Like, that was super lit. I think that was very interesting to watch. So give Ed back. Give Ed that tool back. I don't think that was a good change. That was not a good nerf, and I do think some other people agree with me. It kind of took away some of his identity. The only problem with Ed back then was how much meter he was gaining for level 2 and how much damage and to the drive gauge and to health it was doing. But then they've toned down level 2, so just give him his sway back. Simple as that. Dee Jay. I don't know what quality of life changes this character needs. He was running rampant in season 1. Ever since then, they kind of cooked him a little bit. You know what? Actually, what I would do is I would make it to where I think that they need to do something with his level 1. I don't think his level 1 still has an identity. It already is not invulnerable, so he cannot wake up with it as a defensive option. But they changed it to where it's like safe, but like it still doesn't feel like it doesn't feel good to use. It seems like I want them to figure out what they want this super to do and how they want DJ players to use it in an interesting way. So I would give his level 1 a quality of life change for sure, for sure. um Juri. Okay, so Juri, to me, I think Juri is perfectly fine. I think she's a great character. She's at that really sweet spot. So where like she's good enough to compete, but she's not considered super top tier. So they really will probably never nerf her. And that's honestly a really great spot to be in. But because I do believe every character should get some kind of change, I do think that maybe they could do something to, make her a little bit more something, give her a little bit more oomph. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really play Jury. Again, I'm gonna leave this to you guys. I'm copping out. But what quality of life change do you think the Jury need, guys? We know she's won $1 million before. We know that we know that she's in a really good spot, but I don't necessarily know what to give her, to be quite honest with you, because I do feel like maybe staying the same wouldn't be that horrible, but I do think that's kind of boring and a cop out. So tell me in the comments what you think Jury could get for a quality of life change. Hera Bogard. Um, so Terry came out, in my opinion, he was kind of doo. But they did some quality of life changes to his heavy punch, to the way like his combos and stuff work. Stuff started stopped falling out. His DP, it's still a little wonky, but they did make it a little slightly better. I think right now Terry's in a really great spot, and I do think that changing him in a more positive way could make him a little too strong. But there's definitely something that they could do to improve the quality of life for Terry. Like make it maybe give him something that can damage drive gauge a little bit more or something like that. There's some fun ways that they could make Terry change for more interesting ways for sure. So Blanka. Blanka, people like have forgotten about Blanka. I feel like maybe the quality of life change they could do is maybe incorporate more things with the slide, or don't make him like so one dimensional. He seems kind of gimmicky sometimes. Maybe make more of his gimmicks like more real or like harder to react to or something like that. That could like help him. But I do think Blanca's really good right now, so I don't really see many changes for him. This one might be a little controversial. Uh, I think Kimberly's great. I think if we buff Kimberly anymore, we're gonna be seeing her like crazy. And we're already so Kimberly is now at that spot after the heavy punch buff. She's at that spot where like now you're starting to see her consistently in top eights. There are people and pro players that are using her, and some of them got a pocket Kimberly. Kimberly is at that spot now where she's actually a good character, and you see her in top eights, and she might even win soon. So I don't think she needs a buff, because if she does, she might go global. And you know what? That's not necessarily a bad thing. If they want to buff her, cool. But it's just me personally, and I'm interested in Kimberly. I'm interested in might be using Kimberly next season. We'll see, depending on what everything is. But I think she's in a really good spot, man. I really, really do. I really do. And the last character that I'm going to put in quality of life change is Aki. I think Aki is one of those characters that is strong. You got the MP that's using her. You got Broski that use her. You got Hikaru that's using her. There are people that use Aki, and I think she's a really good character. To be real, what I would do, and maybe this isn't a direct change to Aki, but Aki she doesn't necessarily rely on Fireball drivers, but that is a part of her gameplay, a big part. I think what they could do is take away Fireball Drive Rush from these other characters and leave it solely for Aki to help define her archetype even more. I definitely think that would be a great way to go about that, to be 100% honest with you. I think that would be a great quality of life change, not just for the game, but all of it. So let's make Aki the only Fireball Drive Rush character, in my opinion. All right. So I'm gonna go down to rework. There's only one character right now that I feel like needs to go uh, into rework, and that's going to be Lily. You've probably heard this before. Lily to me is a terribly designed character. I'm so sorry. Don't know how Chocote uses her. Don't know how I Peru uses her. Don't know how Hibiki uses her. She looks very boring because she's one dimensional. Heavy crouch, heavy punch into counter spiral, or wins into counter spiral. Like so one dimensional. Okay, please rework this character. Make her like T Hawk for real, for real. I don't know what you got to do, Capcom. But this character is not fun to watch. She really doesn't look that fun to play. Really, again, I'm so sorry. I feel like I dog Lily players every time I make a video and Lily's in it. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But please rework this character. Don't know how you go about it, but she cannot stay the way she is right now. Will they probably do it? No, but that's just what I think, okay? All right. Now we're going to go down to Nerf. Guile. People might be surprised. People might say, oh, Guile, too strong, needs to be nerfed. But here's the thing about Guile, okay? This is just Guile's archetype. Like, this is just how he's been in every Street Fighter game, except now he can rush you down, which is a huge issue for me. Which is why but because it's in the game, as long as Fireball Driver's in the game, fine, he can have it, whatever. But what I think needs to be nerfed about Guile is his anti-airs. You cannot be allowed to have the best DP in the game for anti-airs, and your normals are still amazing to check for anti-airs. He's the only character that I would ever take an anti-air from. Allow him to have the best DP anti-air in flash kick. He can keep that. But crouch heavy kick or whatever, back heavy kick, whatever heavy kick that is, where he go in the air with the kick and it still knock it and mess you up, and then crouch heavy punch. He has too many good anti-airs for what he is. Take those two away, and not only that, if you're not gonna take away, make it to where he can't charge. Like change the direction at which the buttons come out or something, because he's still charging booms. He's still charging flash kicks and stuff when he's doing this. And like I just feel like I would be fine with how Guile is the way he is if they just take the normal anti-airs out and let him have flash kick, because that is already covering all his bases. Just me. The next character I'm gonna put into Nerfed is Rashid. Uh, Honestly, just check level 2. Just check level 2. Make it to where if we hit Rashid, level 2 goes away. That will not decimate level 2. Level 2 will still be a very strong tool, very strong super. It's just Rashid's can't just blindly use it and just try to walk in and out all the time. If I jabbed you, your level 2's cooked now. You should have thought about that. You should have thought about my wake up. You should have thought about how I've been defending against you. So if they make level 2 go away on hit, boom. I think that would be really great. That's all I think Rashid needs. I think everything else is fair, to be honest with you. I don't see anything else wrong with Rashid. So that's the only thing. Just make level 2 go away if we hit Rashid when it's out. The next character I'm going to put here is Cammy. I think Cammy could use just a slight nerf to crouch medium punch. I think that button is just way too good. Like, it definitely feels disjointed to me. It's like a catch-all. Like, the whiff punishing on it is crazy, and you can't whiff punish it back. I just think Cammy needs more whiff recovery on her buttons in general. I think she's still a really solid character. Do I think she's like the toppest of top tier? No, I don't. I just think she needs more recovery on her normal, so that way we can whiff punish her better. Because right now, I feel like Cammys are just throwing out buttons in neutral, and there's really not too much you can do about the really good ones. So that's all I would do for nerf for Cammy. Ryu, my boy. So Ryu's probably the character that I've played the most in Street Fighter 6. I think he's really good right now. I think he's been good since he got the buff, and they really haven't changed it too much. But now he's just coming to light because of people like Blaz. Blaz has really shown people the way on how to play Ryu. Like, he is a drive gauge destroyer, and playing him like a wall, like a drive gauge destroyer, is a really cool way. And it's brought Ryu to the forefront. Any Walker as well. However, I think what we could do for nerf for Ryu, because I do think this is slightly too strong, we need to nerf Hasho. So the first thing that Hasho needs, light Hasho needs, in order to be nerfed is, I think it needs to go back to -4. I think ending a block string faultlessly like that, that's doing drive gauge damage, and it's -3, I think that's just slightly too much. Okay, and this is me playing Ryu. This is me playing Ryu. I do think it's slightly too much. So make it -4 to where it's like kind of like a knowledge check to where like your opponent can get a jab punish if they're paying attention and not asleep at the wheel. If they sleep at the wheel and they're framed too late, well, you don't get the punish. I think that's fair. I think it needs to go back to -4. The next thing I would do is make it more whiff punishable. Uh, so the further distance you are away, it should be less whiff punishable. But if you're pretty close, I've seen people not be able to whiff punish like a raw Hasho, light Hasho, and neutral. So maybe make it more whiff punishable there. So that's the only two things I would do to Ryu. Everything else is fine. Honestly, they're probably gonna buff Ryu again, which Ryu stock's going up even further, guys. So just be on the lookout. I know we already see like 100 billion Ryus on rank, including a bunch of mirror matches because I play mirror matches all the time with Ryu. But I think they're gonna buff him. But this is what I would do to nerf Ryu. And the last character that I'm going to put in nerf is going to be JP. I think JP is technically fine right now. Like, I'm not gonna lie. The only thing that I personally don't like is the fact that when he does OD portal, when he does OD snap and he has the two light portals in the sky, you don't know which one he's coming through. I think just making him come through the same portal consistently would just be a good slight nerf to him. That's all I'm going to say. I think JP's fair. I think you just need to learn the matchup, to be 100% honest with you, other than the portal thing. So if you learn the matchup, you should be fine. Everything else with JP is fine. All right, it's time to get to the fun part, the part that everybody has been waiting for in the video. The first offender that's going in big nerf is Kenneth Masters, okay? This dude has been light punching you to a corner combo since the game came out. The biggest nerf and the nerf that I think Ken needs is that what they could do is make standing medium punch 6 frames, but it goes further, and he cannot combo medium punch from light punch anymore. It is getting ridiculous, okay? Why is Ken putting me in a corner from a light punch? It's not okay. He's going light punch into stand medium into the run, and it's too much. He is putting us in the corner, meterless, by the way, from a light punch. That is not acceptable. You get perfect parry, light punch, medium punch, you getting ran to the corner. You getting flame topsued into the corner. Like, it's too much. So what I would do to nerf Ken is make it to where medium punch is 6 frames. It goes further. Okay, because the reason why it's 5 frames is because they wanted to combo in that, and it doesn't go that far. But make it go further, make it 6 frames so that he cannot combo from light punch and throw you in the corner, because it's just way too much, especially with throw loops in the game. Also, I would just make it to where Jinrai is not doing that much drive gauge damage. Jinrai is an insane move. Don't know how it made it out of production, okay? Jinrai is a completely insane move, but I don't even want to nerf the move itself. I don't want to change no frames about it. I don't want to make it more interruptible, any of that, because if you have a DP, you can interrupt it, and depending on which one they do. I just think it's doing too much freaking drive gauge damage. Heavy punch into Jinrai is destroying your drive gauge. Make it to where it's not destroying it, because that move is already kind of unfair. Just please make it to where it's not destroying your drive gauge, and you can still clown on us with Jinrai, Ken players. Those are the nerfs that I would want for Ken. Those are some pretty big nerfs, but I do think he would deserve it, and I don't think it would destroy the character, to be completely honest with you. The next character that I think needs to go in here is Bison. Bison is still doing a little too much damage. I'm not going to lie to you. Bomb is still freaking crazy, and I think Devil's Reverse, the way you can bait out DPs and like anti-airs and cook somebody is just too much. What I would do if they don't want to change the damage, Devil's Reverse, like, I don't think you should be able to steer it and control it and slow it down as much as you are when you have way too much control in the air. That's just a little too much for me. You got people whiffing, and like, you could be like, just get good, okay, but you have people whiffing DPs and their anti-air, and Bison still gets the hit, okay, and if he does this with bomb on you, you're dead. Like, please to make it to where Bison players cannot control the trajectory or control the speed or whatever the case is with Devil's Reverse. That's what I would do. Bison would still be an amazing character. Oh, and if you want to make Scissors a charge input again, That would be a nerf, and I still think he would be fine. So you can fix Devil Reverse, or you can fix Scissors and make it a charge. Those are pretty big nerfs, I think, but I think he would be fine and he would deserve it. Next character, Akuma. Remove Akuma from the game. Just take him out. Okay? Just take him out. Don't like him. Which is what I would say if I wasn't a fair person. Okay? But I am. But Akuma's fireballs are still too freaking good. There are times where Akuma is like somewhat close to me. He throws a fireball and I jump, and he still recovers in time to either DP me or block. That is just way too strong. Please add more recovery on his fireball, or make it his hurt box extend with the fireball so we can actually punish this dude when he's throwing them in your face like that. Like, it's just too much. Oh, and dive kick. A dive kick out of Demon Flip, make it to where, like every other dive kick character, if he hits you above the waist, he is minus but safe, or negative, and can get punished if he hits you at the very tippity top. It is no reason why Akuma is safe on all angles of dive kick. It is not okay, man. Absolutely not okay. So please fix those things. The next character we're going to put here, my boy Zangief. I love Zangief. I've played a lot of Zangief. Not as much as I play Ryu, but I've played quite a bit of Zangief. And I'm going to tell you, he's stepping on Marissa's toes right now. Heavy Punch is like fixing matchups that Geef has had trouble with, like Guile, for like 30 years. The point of a grappler is that they can be really strong once they get in, but they do kind of need to struggle a little bit to get in. And I'm not saying grapplers should be terrible, because I'm not amongst that philosophy. People think that if grapplers are super good, it ruins the game, and they can have that philosophy. I don't have that, but I do think Zangief is just way too strong, because he's so easy to play. He cannot be the strongest. So he's nuking your drive gauge with his normals. Like, he's absolutely nuking them. And Heavy Punch going through fireballs like that, sometimes on reaction, is absolutely insane. So I would nerf the armor on Heavy Punch, make Heavy Punch even slower. Like, something like that needs to happen. Because he's just doing too much. Also, I still think Headbutt is a little too strong. It has a little too much advantage, because I don't think he should be able to headbutt you, go for a normal grab, and if you jump, he can still anti-air you. That's just a little bit too much advantage. Instead of +4, I think Headbutt needs to be like +3 or +2, in my opinion. And this is coming from someone that's playing Zangief right now too. So please, Capcom, do something about that. And we come to the number one offender of please get this character out of my game. Mai is so dumb. And to me, she's dumb for a few reasons, but the biggest reason is OD Fan. Mai has to be taken out back, and OD Fan gotta get shit. I think OD Fan, if you perfect parry it, should not bounce up again. Because what you have to do in order to deal with OD Fan is you have to perfect parry it and use a forward advancing special move or normal to get out of the second bounce and stop her from drive rushing you. But what happens when, one, you don't have a forward advancing move, the fan drops back down even though you perfect parried it and you're still locked down, or two, what happens when your forward advancing move is negative and Mai chooses not to drive rush? Well, now you just Tatsu'd into Mai and you get blown up. OD Fan is so stupid. It has to go, Capcom. It has to go. You cannot make a character easy to play like that and do quarter circle forward and 2 buttons and completely win neutral like that, because her easy input, her easy thing that she's doing to win neutral requires a level of knowledge and expertise and a really hard thing to do from the opponent, and they're barely rewarded for it. So I think Capcom knows as well as the rest of us that Mai got to be taken out back, man. I'm sorry, Mai players. She's just not healthy for the game. All right. So these are the characters that I think need to be buffed and nerfed in Season 3 of Street Fighter 6. I don't know about you guys. I'm super, super, super excited about Season 3. This has brought a joy back for me to make content again about playing the game. Like, I'm super, super excited. I know you guys are too. Please remember to like, subscribe, and turn your notification bell on for any content that I bring, so that way you guys can see it. I appreciate all the love that I've gotten on my last video. It actually means quite a bit to me, so thank you so much. I appreciate all you guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. Your boy be out. Peace.